second of day one, of course, was the beloved Bethesda, and I tell you what, they had some content, and I'll tell you how I know that. I've got 2 A4 pages of written notes sitting in front of me from the Bethesda conference. I'm keen to talk. I'm excited to talk. Let's have a chat. So Quake Champions hit the stage. They didn't even introduce it. They just threw out Quake Champions. Crowd went crazy. Golden was sitting there getting all excited in his pants. Tell us more, Golden.
Hey, so I did not play the PC version of Quake, but let me tell you something. After playing Doom and playing a lot of Bethesda's game on console, I'm going to be the first to pick up Quake.
Did you? I got a Quake Arena vibe to it. There was, I could see the Quake Arena uniforms that I remember playing years ago. I could see the Quake Arena, just the feel. It felt competitive. It sounds like it's going to be PC only. At least they didn't. I shouldn't say that. They never said it's not going to be on consoles, but they did say PC. I did not hear that.
Are you serious? Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, I'm shit. You're not. Yeah.
PC?
Because they're.
No, they'll bring it on.
It might come, but they very specifically said PC, keyboard and mouse control, 144 kilohertz monitor support, no limit to frame rates. So they were all on this. This is like very PC centric in their announcement. But I think it's binary. You thinking probably console? It's going to come?
Yeah, they'll just said. There'll be too much profit not to be had by putting it to console.
Are you just saying that right now, Binary, because I'm heartbroken, or are you just trying to say
no,
my feelings? Tell me the truth here, man.
I played Quake in the original days, right?
I just dropped a bomb on Golden.
Because I was just crushed. I was crushed and nobody told me that, and I'm like, oh man, I watched this stuff and nobody said this to me, and I'm like,
No,
so,
they did make it very PC centric, but I think they have to release it on the consoles.
Absolutely.
You know what? Thank you, Binary. Binary, you know what? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. You made me, you hurt me there, bro. You hurt me.
Sorry, bro. So it's exciting for that, but I think we'll see some release of some sort. And they talked about esports. And look, I'm going to say this: it was good to hear some heavy metal instead of dubstep for a bit of music tones. I quite enjoyed that because it's quite the polar opposite really to the next game, which was Prey. Look, if anyone played Prey back in the day, I would say that the new Prey is just a brand. They really are just labeling a brand onto a game that from what I can see, doesn't have a lot of linkages to the original Prey that some of you may have played back in the Xbox 360 days. So I'm a bit excited. It was kind of like a thriller. It looked a bit like a psychological thriller. Binary, you caught some of that clip. Were you impressed from what you saw from Prey?
Yeah, it looked good. It has an interesting narrative. They put it that there is some psychological effects to it, and watching the gameplay, you could see some black shifty looking creature running around. Yeah, I'm interested to see what it's around. I'm not the most excited about it, as I don't actually know much of the history. But it'll be interesting to see once it unfolds up to release, I'm sure.
Yeah, it looked a bit supernaturally. If I was to lock it down, I'd probably say Dead Space meets Dishonored in some quasi way. It's like this sort of mechanical neo-future, but a bit historical, but yet it's still set in 2032. But it has some, pretty interesting mechanics from this.
Definitely a sci-fi horror.
Yeah, sci-fi stuff. So anyway, we'll see how that pans out. But I think it's a bit meh. I think from the three of us, we could probably all say. But of course, something that's not very meh for Golden is Doom. Far away, my friend. What did you think?
All right, so they're bringing out some new stuff. I've had a lot of fun with the game. I think the PvP is pretty good, and it reminds me of old stuff, man, and that gore. And again, I'm a big sci-fi horror action guy, and you put any kind of shooter with some kind of sci-fi, and I'm in. So I'm excited. I'm glad they're bringing new stuff to the table and bringing life to the franchise. I mean, this is a guy that. Carmike, came up with this a long time ago, and this was their bread and butter. And, now they're giving something back. And, you know what? Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, and they talked a lot about snap maps. The word free came up a lot. Free updates, free construction objects. One flag catch the flag. A new additional maps and a one flag capture the flag event that's coming with that. So, I mean, have you dabbled with snap map? Do you think that's something you're going to play with, or?
I have a little bit. It's cool. It's not something that nobody's done before. Infamous did it. They did the whole thing where, you build your own map and people run through it and you get, Little Big Planet did it.
God, Infamous, that's a callback. What a great game.
Right? Yeah. And again, it's a great game. So imagine, doing these maps and...
Well, it's infinite content, right? There's infinite free content.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And so it's whatever you want. It's whatever you want to do and you can post that out there. And now that they're adding more to that gives longevity to the game and more creative purpose to the player.
Yeah. And it's interesting to see their final comment was pretty cool. And this is a good announcement for any of you if you haven't got Doom already. This brought me almost like a shareware vibe. If you remember shareware back in the day, they're offering the first level of Doom for free all this week. So if you haven't got it yet, jump in and get it. I think it just reeks of John Carmack and as you say back in the day, coming up with this idea of the shareware model, and I think that's cool. So give it a go. And interestingly enough, Elder Scrolls Online came up, and of course they had plenty of content, but they released, check out these stats, 34 billion monsters have been killed, 13 billion quests have been completed, 3 billion gold has been paid in bounty, and this is the best one, I like this, 578 million mud crabs have been slain. And now, there are mud crab parents with orphan mud crabs, and 7 million players, right? And growing, apparently. I didn't know Elder Scrolls was that big.
7 million?
7 million.
You know what? I question that number. I do.
Me too. Binary, do you question it?
That's the have registered number, right?
Yes. Are we still playing it? Is the question.
Yeah. So I've played Elder Scrolls Online. It's a fun game. I think it belongs on PC. It never really. I'm a console player. I have been a PC player, but I just don't think it took in the console world very well. Online RPGs, they're hard to port to a console, and I think Elder Scrolls is online it's a tragedy of that, actually.
Yeah, they pulled one of their I think third or fourth announcements was that June 23 we're pleased to announce that Japan is going to have access to Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh, God.
And the whole audience just went, what?
No.
we're doing what now?
Wait, what? They didn't have it before?
It was strange, yeah. Like it was just more that it was built up as this big new thing, and we're pleased to announce. Yeah. And it was fell flat. But fortunately, after that, they said that the next week, and that's coming next week from today. Dark Brotherhood DLC is coming to the consoles. Binary, would that make you this new DLC? Would that make you go back to Elder Scrolls Online?
Probably not, because I'd have to spend quite a bit of time to even activate that DLC, unless it's a DLC from the beginning, or it's a separate quest line that I can take. I probably won't.
What if I was to up that ante and to say that there's a new update and all restrictions have been removed, all barriers of entry have been removed, and you can go anywhere at any time, no matter what your level?
Then I'd probably give it a go.
Are you sold? Well, that was their last thing. I don't know. Is that? I'm not a player. I don't know. Is that a big deal?
I can see why it's a popular game. It's a popular game for people who don't have a PC and like to touch into that MMO environment. And you can get a lot of fun out of it, but you've got to put a lot of hours in it to get there. Right? And I think that was the drawback for me, is it took a long time to get into it. And there were better games to play. There was a lot better quick wins in terms of time and reward. So
like 138 hours in The Division.
Oh, I think I'm up at like 320 now.
Yeah, that's silly me. But you know, from this virtual world to the virtual reality, so moving from Elder Scrolls to Bethesda VR, this has been something that was, I think the crowd went pretty crazy for. Binary, I think you were pretty excited about this one in terms of what they talked about with Fallout 4 and Doom. So why don't
Bethesda dropped mic on this. So Fallout 4, they got 3 new packs coming out by the looks of it. So one is Vault. Finally, we can build our own Vault, test and experiment on Vault Dwellers. Fantastic. I think that's a Fallout Shelter mobile app inspired, because that app did so well, which I have played and have enjoyed. So I'm really excited that they're bringing that into the game. There's also, I'm not sure, it looked like a contraptions workshop, where you can build little like marble run style stuff going around.
They had conveyor belts and trucks and elevators and sorting machines and guillotines, and it was strange.
Starting to rebuild civilization again after dystopia, right? But the real drop mic moment was 2017, HTC Vive, Fallout 4 is coming to VR.
Did he say exclusive? Like I thought he said just coming to HTC Vive, but...
No, he didn't say exclusive, but he said it's coming on the Vive. So, it's platform specific, isn't it, VR? So, hands down. That's another reason to buy a PS4, I guess.
Imagine looking at your arm and the Pip-Boy and... wow.
Man. Oh, man.
Dude.
I'm just thinking... I'm just thinking a club with a load of metal pikes fighting a Deathclaw.
Oh... Come on, man. That's amazing, dude.
But yeah, they've got a couple of games coming to VR, haven't they? So they've got the Fallout 4. They had... what was the other one?
Did they say Doom?
They did.
I thought
say
they said Doom.
Yeah, they did.
Did they say Doom?
They said Doom in VR.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they showed like the Doom logo, then the Fallout 4 logo.
So yeah, so that is... 2017 is the year of VR, right?
Well, look, there was a lot of games on display, and I think that's one thing we can agree. Bethesda showed us a lot, and they certainly showed us a lot of Dishonored 2, and probably it really did take the last, I'm talking 20 minutes of the show was almost devoted to this game and gameplay mechanic. It almost was like the type of gameplay video that, like with Battlefield 1, they would show after the conference, yet they did keep it within the conference. I guess this is probably more something that I guess Brian and I have been a bit more excited about. Brian, did you feel that world? Did it look like Dishonored 1? Did it feel like something you want to go back to?
Well, it's a new area, isn't it? It's a whole new city. It's on a new engine, a custom engine too. So they're not using. So they've built this from ground up, effectively. The graphics look good. The textures look good. Shading, lighting, the flow. They showed actual engine-created game footage, which is a must at E3. Which is, I hate it when people don't. And it looked great. The mechanics look great. The storyline is interesting. I am looking forward to sinking a couple of 100 hours into it, I hope.
Yeah, and to have the two characters, so we've got Corvo and Emily that we can play as now, which is kind of cool.
With individual storylines.
Just a simple choice, I guess.
Yeah, with individual storylines. So there's replay value straight away, right?
Yeah, there's this mystical telepathical powers that have kind of been boosted more from the first game. There's that time travel mechanic. Did you see that?
I missed that. I saw the reach out and movement. Oh no, yeah, I did. Where you can go through the dimensions. So you're looking through like a glass thing, and you'd walk through a different. Yeah,
I wrote it down. I couldn't describe it. So I wrote this down. I wrote asymmetric time travel because I couldn't think of what to call it. But basically, you've got your device and you like a shard almost on the screen, and you can see what's happening in this castle or wherever it is right now, but around you're actually in the past. So you're doing activities in the past in order to work out and solve puzzles in the future, and you're doing that real time.
Yeah, that's right. And then you can jump between times too. So you have that like stealth mechanic. So they showed a couple of deaths. It was interesting.
I was blown away. So I'm a little bit excited for Dishonored 2. Bleak, disconcerting, and awesome.
Do they have a release date?
Did you mention
a release date? Do they have a release date?
They do. Thanks for reminding me. It's November 11th, 2016. Boom.
Oh, Christmas time.
That is not far away. Merry Christmas. Go stab people as a thief. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah. And on that note, that kind of brings us to, I guess, our conclusion on the Bethesda conference. But, I mean, I feel a little bit more excited about it than probably I did with EA. It sounds like, Golden, what would you say to it in terms of the overall conference for your experiences?
Both of them, out of 10, both of them a 7, maybe even a 6. They're putting out new stuff relatively. Some of the new stuff I don't think we're going to see for a while. Believe it or not, Dishonored, I'm actually kind of excited for because I didn't play the first one, and they're offering the first one with all the content from the first one on the second one. So for all you new players and from listening to these guys talk, that'd be something you want to pick up, you know, and I think that's a really good thing. But again, you know, come on, Battlefield, you know, let's do this. Bethesda, yeah, you did all right, but, you know, it's not their year. You know what? I'm not hating on them. I'm not saying they're a bad company. I'm not saying that they're shitty. It's just not their year. All they're doing is just revamping some stuff that they had. They're keeping themselves afloat, and, you know, Battlefield 1. Give me a shotgun and a shovel, and let's do this.
Yeah, I was saying that to Binary before, and I think I said, yeah, for me that the EA did feel like the shareholder convention, like there was more value maybe to a shareholder maybe than to a gamer. But I mean, that's a little bit hard fetched in some cases because I think the sports sections there, you know, the Madden and the FIFA players are going to be a bit excited. But that aside, everything else was a bit more of a promise to pay for 2017, 2018. Binary, what were your takeaways from the two, you think, from day one summary?
Day one summary. So we saw two big players, and they were both hit and miss, weren't they? Really, as far as content to us for putting on a show. I think we're getting some great games from both of them. Probably leaning more towards Bethesda in terms of actual content that's ready and to be out within the next 12 months. But they've always delivered great storylines, great contents from games. If you're more into sports, then EA's got a great lineup as well. And so yeah, for an opening session on a Sunday afternoon, half day, I'm gonna say it's triumphant. Shall we say?
Would you give it? So I think Golden gave it a 7 out of 10 for each. So you gave a 14 out of 20 for day one. What would you say, Binary, out of 20?
Out of 20, I'd go for 14. Yeah, 14 is quite big.
I think I can agree with that. Yeah, it's been an interesting day one. Of course, there's still plenty to come with day two coming at you tomorrow with, of course, Microsoft, Sony, Ubisoft. And of course, there's a whole separate section allocated to PC gaming now that we might have to talk to a little bit. So we'll see how that fares as we approach the next 24 hours. But look, guys, that said, I think this has been awesome. By the way, so it's been a good opportunity to share the DZR love. So again, thank you, Binary.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Golden.
Absolutely, man. It's been my pleasure.
It's been awesome. I won't see you next in the Dark Zone because I'll see you next in 24 hours when we do this again, and we get to meet each other, and we can have some good battles with the Microsoft Sony wars. I'm looking forward to that tomorrow and more. We'll see you all then.